guys? This is Dynamic here with Boss Gaming Network, introducing one of our new members, Boss Sergeant Zalisa, recently promoted for a clan battle that we had last week. So this is one of the most profound gamers I've met in a very long time. We're going to bring in good topics, good discussion of what gaming and real games are about. Okay, so for right now, the first game I want to bring on is Smite, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so Smite. Smite is awesome gaming.
Ages have passed since the gods walked among us. Before the fury swept over our land. Before the war that divided us for eternity.
Okay, so have you ever played like an online RPG or anything to where people actually game online in a team effort to actually take down another team of online players? This is what Smite is. Smite is a really good game. It's one of the best on the market right now, and I call it a MOBA because MOBAs are basically online RPGs, but they are tender to just you doing multiplayer. Basically, there are 5 people on a team. They fight another 5 people on a separate team, and they use different skills, tactics, and everything that is used to make sure that you win in the game itself.
The heat bears down upon you. The heat bears down upon you. Bathe in the glow. Bathe in the glow. Not bad in the glow. Not bad for a sworder. Your right tower is under attack. On my way. Awesome kill! The heat bears out.
Smite has been out now for maybe a few years. It's actually one of the best, I would say, MOBAs out on the market right now. I love the fact that you do specials, ultimates, you can do basic fighting tactics, and going between maps to gain special abilities, fighting enemies, and any type of monster to gain tactics to actually take down your opposing force.
Triple
Smite is one of the best fighting games to ever release for online MOBA RPG wise in a very long time. Reminds me a lot of the Lord of the Rings MOBA that came out a while back on Xbox.
Face me and perish.
This one is a lot different. A lot more characters are introduced. There is a huge esports fan base for this game as well. It's basically based off all the gods that existed in Greek mythology, also gods that existed in other mythologies as well. And you get to choose these gods and rank them up. Up and become strong and get certain skins for the characters unlocked, use them. I mean, it's awesome. My favorite character is Thanatos. Thanatos is one of the best characters in Smite.
Your time has come. Shut down! Triple kill! Deicide! Attack right lane! Woohoo!
Hero. I wanna be a hero. Oh, the hero comes, I can hear the drums.
Smite is definitely a cool RPG, mobile RPG, for anyone that's interested in this type of gameplay. If you like League of Legends or the Lord of the Rings type of mobile games, this is the type of game that you want to focus on and play. Smite is free; it doesn't cost anything. There is in-game content that you do have to purchase, but you don't have to purchase it. So it's a really fun game. Awesome, love it. Smite, guys, definitely.
Is Smite a cool game?
Is Smite a cool game?
Yeah.
Of course it's a cool game. What do you mean?
I mean, I played RPGs. Usually I play multiplayer, but that's
If I wanted to give Smite a rating, I would give a rating of 9. I would give.
So I want to talk about GoldenEye, which the floor plans on multiplayer were huge.
You can pick it up.
And along with multiplayer, it also was objective based if you did the single player.
Right.
Which was cool because you got to sneak around like an assassin. But you did have to complete certain tasks, which could be hard and tedious, and you usually had to die a few times before you could obtain your objectives.
So, one of the best things about GoldenEye that I liked was the fact that you had the ability to basically go espionage, silencer, pistols, and so forth. The game was really good. It made a good impression on what you should do whenever you're in a situation to where missions are objective. They're very, very, very objective type of game. Very objective type of game. Awesome game. I love GoldenEye. 007. 007 was one of the first shooters that came out, and I think it paved the way for Halo.
Capture the flag. Blue team has 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 the flag. Red team has the flag. Red team, flag returned. Blue team, flag returned.
It not only paved the way for Halo, but it paved the way for other shooters as well. Like, I don't know if anyone remembers GoldenEye back in like the 90s. So this game was like one of the best shooters to ever release. I mean, the maps were huge. I mean, one of the best things I remembered about GoldenEye was the fact that the maps were so dedicated and huge. The only game that resembled that was Halo. And Halo was a make off of what I believe GoldenEye was. So, yeah, GoldenEye 007, love it. My next game? Okay, my next game is Max Payne.
I'd arrived in Sao Paulo a few weeks before.
I can get you work, Max. Work that only a guy like you can do.
I ain't a cop no more. I was working a protection detail for the kind of people who need protection in a town like this.
This is Sao Paulo, brother. It's kind of fun, good pay. We keep people safe.
It wasn't pretty, but I guess none of what was about to happen was gonna be.
The girl was kidnapped by the CS.
We have always been targets. You all know that.
Here I was again, with all hell breaking loose around another girl I had been trying to protect. This was a hell of a hangover.
I love Max Payne, and it made him so awesome. Like in this game, like he was one of the best shooters, and like they have slow motion cams where you shoot people and you can actually see the bullets like penetrate people's heads, body parts, and like literally like rip off ligaments. The game is insane.
I needed a real drink to deal with the electronic music and the robotic people.
Fucking monkey from a fucking slum. He acts cool with me. What's that? Nothing. Say, Max, you're a man of the world. What are you fucking doing, man?
About what?
What do you do about life?
Look at me, I'm standing in a nightclub, listening to music I can't stand. I'm 5,000 miles from home, I'm armed and I'm drinking. You don't want to listen to advice from me, amigo.
Oh, Max, I love you, man. You're fucking real, you know? Oh, shit. People. Fuck them. People get me wrong. I think I love a wrong woman. Oh, excuse me. Fabio! Fabio!
seen it coming, but that was no surprise. It's hard to keep your eye on the ball through the bottom of a glass. I just hoped I could get to Fabiana and Giovanna in time. Now, I had a ride to catch.
Pull me up! Bob, pelo amor de Deus! All I said!
Come on, come on! Jesus, Max, I can't leave you alone for 5 minutes! What the hell happened in there?
They jumped us! Same guys from the party, I think. They grabbed the girls, and Marcelo, but he's here now.
Yeah, don't worry about me, homie. I'm just the guy paying you lots of money to protect me.
Yeah, what were you drinking?
Bet your ass I was. You try staying in there for 5 minutes sober.
Oi, olha!
Look, there they are!
Giovanna! Giovanna!
Come on, quick, get after them!
Are you crazy? You can't just leave her! Max, you gotta do something! Come on! Get the rifle back there!
She's making a run for it!
Okay, hold on! Swing it around!
Move, you're gonna lose her!
Get a hold of her! Do something, man! Shoot him down! Shoot him down!
Stay on!
Don't worry, I see her!
What's Rodrigo going to say when he finds out about Fabiana?
What's he gonna say when he finds out his youngest brother died in a tragic helicopter accident? Shoot! What the fuck are you waiting for?
Move, you're gonna lose her! She's headed for the roof!
Gotta get around this thing!
How is this getting around it? Ai, meu Deus! Oh, look! There she is there! She's not going to make it!
Do you ever stop talking?
Eu não disse que eu ia te pegar. Você foi fácil demais.
Gonna kill her, man!
She's headed inside, Passos! Get us down there!
All right, I'm headed to the helipad. Stop! Look out!
Max! Max!
Max!
Max!
There was a goddamn army of these goons. Clearly, somebody wanted these girls bad. Or maybe they just assumed the Broncos security team consisted of more than a drunk American has-been and a Brazilian never-was who should have paid more attention in flying school. Either way, I needed to find Giovanna before they did.
Isso está ficando vergonhoso! Ela não vale a pena. Temos a mulher branca.
My weakness was the drink. Passo's was the sister. Things were turning pretty ugly in this town.
Like Max Payne 3 had to be one of the best shooters. You know, if you don't know about Max Payne, definitely check out Max Payne.
Yes. Well, I'm doing Final Fantasy X. Was cool. You could switch from wait or consistent fight. It gives you that flexibility. Your thoughts?
One of my favorite RPGs, they had a lot to do with storyline. Storyline in Final Fantasy X was really good. I loved it so much. Now, the one thing I noticed about Final Fantasy X was that the battle system was unlike any other when it came to RPGs.
Yeah.
a big fan of the RPG battle system in Final Fantasy X, mainly because of the fact that it did a lot of basic attacks, and then you went to ultimates, and then went to systematic attacks as well too. The one thing I will say is that the summons were still on par with the older Final Fantasies. Whereas, like, you know, Final Fantasy X, you could actually say, hey, I want to come out. I want, like, you know, Ifrit to come out, do a fire attack. I want Shiva to come out and do an ice attack. You know, it was that cool. You know, like, I loved Final Fantasy X. Titus, awesome character, protagonist. The protagonist was incredible for Final Fantasy X. I also love the fact that the storyline was pretty in depth. So, also, Final Fantasy X2 continues the story. If you don't know, if you want to follow up on, like, you know, after the actual storyline of Final Fantasy X, you can do that with X2. So yeah.
And it's all girls, so bring it home for the ladies.
That's true.
Yeah.
That is very true. Final Fantasy X2 is all ladies. I think it was Riku. All three of those girls were the main characters for Final Fantasy X2.
This is it. Die and be free of pain, or live and fight your sorrow.
And Riku is the best, okay? Yes.
Yeah, she was cool.
The best female.
I like Lulu. Lulu had like all the black magic and stuff. Like she was awesome with the black magic.
Lulu was cool too, but I think Riku. She had the most personality, and she was just so badass.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. I can definitely see that.
Hey, you run too fast!
Show's over!
Youch. This way.
Okay. Yeah, Final Fantasy X was awesome. We're gonna conclude our episode of Boss Gaming Network here. But before we go, there is one game that I want to talk on. This one game is called. And a lot of you probably already know this. This is Metal Gear Solid. Metal Gear Solid had to be one of the best espionage games to ever release on console.
I'm the man you stole everything good from. And now, after the sacrifice of our brothers, after 30 long years, finally, the two of us meet. The brother of light and the brother of dark.
This is Snake. Colonel, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
How well armed are these terrorists? I know there was an exercise going on at the time they revolted.
They're heavily armed, I'm afraid.
What about their battle experience?
The 6 members of Foxhound in charge are all hardened veterans. They're tough enough to eat nails and ask for seconds.
I wouldn't expect anything less from Foxhound.
The others are next-generation special forces. They're not your average grunts either.
What are you waiting for? Shoot!
Don't talk to me like a rookie!
Alright, I'm alive again. Let's go! What are you really after?
A world where warriors like us are honored as we once were, as we should be.
That was Big Boss's fantasy.
It was his dying wish. When he was young, during the Cold War, the world needed men like us. We were valued then. We were desired. But things, are different now. With all the lies and hypocrites running the world, war isn't what it used to be. We're losing our place in a world that no longer needs us. A world that now spurns our very existence. You should know that as well as I do. After I launch this weapon and get $1 billion, we'll be able to bring chaos and honor back to this world gone soft. Conflict will breed conflict, new hatreds will arise. Then, we'll steadily expand our sphere of influence.
But as long as there are people, there will always be war.
But the problem is balance. Father knew what type of a balance was best.
Is that the only reason?
Isn't it reason enough for warriors such as us?
I don't want that kind of world.
Ha! You lie! So why are you here then? Why do you continue to follow your orders while your superiors betray you? Why did you come here?
Metal Gear Solid, you think Solid Snake, you think Liquid Snake. What can possibly happen to make this game even more awesome? Well, let's throw in espionage. Not only espionage, let's throw in, like, sequence battles. Like, like you gotta time your attacks, your buttons. Everything comes into play whenever playing Metal Gear Solid.
Impressive, Snake.
Now, Metal Gear Solid has been out for a very long time. This has been back since, like, the 90s. I mean, like... Nintendo, yeah. Pretty much. I mean... This is not a new thing. I mean, Metal Gear has been out for a very long time. And even now, I mean, it's still one of the best espionage games you can play right now.
Please try to relax. There is plenty of time. I need to tell you something. You've been in a coma for quite some time.
On your feet, soldier. The whole place is coming down.
V has come to.
Yeah, so what do you think about Metal Gear?
I love the espionage. Most games these days require short attention. So this game requires a lot more patience. I really like the espionage games.
Okay, Metal Gear is a very objective-based game to make sure you accomplish what you need to do, and it will kill you over and over again to where you actually have to learn from your previous mistake and become smarter. The game forces you to play the game smart. Great game. Love Metal Gear Solid. One of the best espionage games out in the market. Okay, so Division Leader Dynamic 2839, Boss Sergeant, Zalisa. Brought you a few games today. Thank you for joining us, and once again, always boss up. As always, our Twitch channel is Dynamic2839. Our Instagram is Dynamic2839. Also, if you want to send any contact information or have any questions, just contact us here at the information you'll see at the end of the series. Phone number as well too. You can text. So definitely, guys. As always, Boss Gaming Network. Boss up. Thank you.